Okay, folks, we're going to call the meeting to order. If I could have you back at the table. Thank you. The Community Safety Advisory Commission meeting is now called to order, and we have a motion to approve the agenda, please. Moved by Carolyn, second by Cal. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Adoption of the minutes. The minutes were sent out to you for May the 3rd. You should have all received a copy and had an opportunity to read them. A recommendation is that they be adopted. Moved by Jenny, second by Cal. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Business arising from the minutes. Didn't see anything that we had to discuss. Any public input from the people in the audience? John? And no delegations this morning? Correspondence, item number 6, we have a resignation letter received from Lila, and it was sent out previously by email, and we've responded and provided a letter of thanks for her service. So we just need a motion to receive and file the official letter. Moved by Jenny, second from Carolyn. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Information, any staff reports, Christy? Jason usually does that piece, nothing? Okay. Organizational reports, does anybody like to provide updates from their organizations? Chris?
Good morning, everyone. So with the RCMP of North Cowichan Duncan Detachment, right now the G7 conference is taking place, or planning's underway. There's been a RCMP contingent been deployed. North Cowichan Duncan Detachment, we've only got one member affected. He's out, transferred out there for the time being, and that's just a 2-week deployment. Planning's underway for the BC Summer Games coming up in Duncan, so that will be a big event for us, as well as the elders visitation conference meetings coming up here in Duncan as well. We're having taking part in that. We're with our First Nations policing unit. One other thing, the Environment Canada Tower on Mount Sicker is being decommissioned, it's being removed there. So the RCMP is exploring in conjunction with CVRD and North Cowichan and Emergency Services about putting up a new tower there. So we're engaging with the municipality of North Cowichan, who actually owns the lands and the rights to the road there, on how to do that. So that's going to affect police, fire, ambulance, public works, amateur radios, CVRD, local radio stations. So that's something that we're trying to get done here sooner than later, and we're looking at costing as well. That's a big factor. So, thank you.
At the school board, we're also preparing for the BC Summer Games, because we're putting up the young athletes in our schools, and our manager of operations is Monroe Grove, and he's also director, right? So he's all the way through the system, and we're getting ready for those kids. And on a quick tour of the operations department, I discovered that we're also parking all of the buses. So not only is the school board providing school buses to get kids, athletes, back and forth, we're also housing the big tour buses that are, apparently there will be VIPs here, I suppose, yes. And so they all get really nice buses. And they'll be parked over in the barns, and they've got a system figured out for that. So that's super exciting. I guess on sort of a safety note, we have officially divided Quamachin campus and Cowichan Secondary into 2 schools. For all intents and purposes, or they were operating as 2 schools, except for kids walking back and forth. So, so they're officially 2 schools now. There will be a lot less going back and forth. And of course, we've always kept it to just the older kids, grade 9 and up, so now that won't be an issue. And there were mixed feelings on that, but overall, a bit of a sigh of relief, I think, from everybody. So that's what's exciting at the district.
Jane?
We don't have much to report, except that we got another one-year grant for our men's program called Men Choose Respect. So if you encounter men who've used violence in relationship and would like to learn how to be healthier in relationship, it's an excellent program.
Jenny? Christy?
Thank you. I guess it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, I shared the notes from the overdose prevention site neighborhood meeting, and Safer Futures was there. And it was a pretty good meeting, you know. It was a meeting that, you know, had some tough questions, and, you know, lots of people upset about kind of what they're noticing in their neighborhood around that. And so there are notes here. I brought extra copies around that and some of the recommendations that came out of there as well, that I know that Canadian Mental Health Association is working with Island Health to address some of those concerns that are coming out of the neighborhood. So if you need another copy, just let me know. The other thing I wanted to kind of remark on, and we've had a couple of delegations come before talking about, you know, Sharps disposal, and we've worked on our Barefoot in the Park. And so one of the things that came up in the past was to look at sustainability around the Sharps pickup. And as we know, that funding is not finite. And so Safer Futures has been working with a variety of different businesses in the Beverly Alexander neighborhood. And some of our work in that neighborhood is revitalization, but we worked with some of the businesses to hire resident from Warmland to clean up around the businesses. And so we've been running that, I guess, for, I don't know, I want to say about 4 or 5 months, and McDonald's just recently kind of jumped on to hiring this resident. And I just brought a letter, and I'd like to share it with you guys later on, just about how, it's a testimonial letter about how things are going for the businesses that have hired this fellow. And they're just noticing a huge difference in decrease around loitering, around Sharps and garbage, and just kind of negative behavioral activity happening there. He's a peer, so there's a lot of peer-to-peer kind of, you know, monitoring there. A lot of them respect him too and don't want to make his job harder. And he seems to be kind of, it's a moving forward plan for him. And so what I'm hoping to do is to expand it a little bit on a larger level, in the sense that we know that there are some other people outside of CMHA that are doing Sharps pickup. And so how can we kind of build capacity? We know that there's panhandling issues as well, and can this type of initiative help support the businesses that are facing panhandling as well, and how do we expand that? So I can share that with you guys after, and if you guys have any questions about that, but.
Okay, thank you. Carolyn?
Writing notes here. Our school is also getting ready for the BC Games. We're having students there as well for the 3 to 4 days. And we've been working on our OCP. We have 3 working groups in the community that are working on different sections of it, and we had an open house on June 2nd to have community support, so they feel like it's part of their plan, and that's about all we've been doing. Oh, it's Lake Days this weekend. I have a trophy over here that I have just won from Lake Days. No, not really. So please come out, and I think Lake Town Ranch is also doing some music this weekend with Trooper.
The trophy she refers to is one that I actually won in 2010, and I kept it. Kendra? Nothing? Cal?
Thank you. Just a couple things. In Ladysmith, we just passed the youth plan, which is a draft document right now, and it's been forwarded to our Parks and Rec Committee and for further review, and then will be presented to council for approval. It's a working, probably a living working document that I think will progress with how we're going to approach youth and their problems and issues that they have in our community. Christy was a big part of it, and I thank her for volunteering for that committee. That was great work you did. Another thing, we got the Hometown Tourist Weekend coming up on June 15th to 18th. It's a great opportunity to come and see Ladysmith and see our community, see what we have to offer. There's, you can go to the Take 5, there's a full schedule of events and businesses that are participating, and there'll be harbor tours with discounts and all that, so people can come up to our community and enjoy it. And another note, it's Stanamus Aboriginal Days, which is June 21st at Transfer Beach. That'll be starting at 10 a.m. and running till 2:30. It's a great opportunity for people to come up and celebrate the cultural diversity of the First Nations people, and there'll be food and lots of interaction with the Stanamus community, and I encourage you people to come up there. So if you're not doing anything on June 21st, come on up. It's a great family event. One thing of note, we've just heard that they're filming Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, in our town. So if you're not doing anything in September, it'll be running from September 17th for 10 days. There'll be closures. I'm not sure if you'll see any celebrities or anything, but it'll be a great time to come up there and just see what goes on, and if you want to see how filming's done in a local community. And that's it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. And through community policing, we've been extremely busy with block watch training in particular. We're seeing more neighborhoods who want to come on board and be part of that program and get it done as a community building exercise and helping to address some of the issues of crime, vandalism, et cetera, that they're having in their neighborhoods. And our big announcement is, once again, we are hosting the RCMP Musical Ride. We have one show in August on the 28th, and our venue has changed. We'll be at the Cowichan Exhibition Park this year in the Sand Ring. I encourage you to purchase your tickets. They're available now through the Island Ticket Center. There'll be limited seating. We will be doing seating within the ring itself, so we encourage people to bring their lawn chairs to sit right up close and personal, and then we'll have bleachers for the remaining part of the ring to be in there. A number of community groups will be set up that you can come in, connect with. Prior to the show, the gates will open at 3 o'clock. There is a pre-show at 5:30, has Cowichan Valley Pipes and Pipes group again, Cowichan Therapeutic Riding, and one more group that we're just working out the details with, and then the ride itself starts at 6:45. So please do come, and I have extra posters if you want to take some to post in your community. So. And it's a fundraiser for community policing and search and rescue. Okay, moving on to item number 9, unfinished business. We have a report on the annual report for CSAC to the CVRD board, and Christy's got some dates now.
Yeah, so I've booked a delegation for June 27th, and so there was a request from the last meeting to come forward and just see who from the commission would like to be part of that presentation. And the purpose is to present the annual report highlights for the year to the board. So if any of you guys are available that day to come.
And the time?
It's 1:30.
Okay, and we also have an update on the letter that we talked about going out to the planners. And Christy, if you'd like to speak to that, please.
Yeah, so the letter that I provided is based on the feedback from the last meeting. In last year, we talked a lot about updating the safety lens. And so part of my work from that time was to go and engage with different planners to see how they were actually using community safety in their planning and development. And of course, I provided a report on that. And so the idea was to actually engage the planners a little bit deeper in the sense of, is this a tool that they find useful, or do we, for instance, go through the OCPs, and as they come up, do we engage them in incorporating community safety elements in that? And so this is just a sample letter that would go out, and I would follow out with each of the planners to see how they want to move that piece of work ahead.
Okay, any discussion regarding the sample letter that Christy provided in the package? Jane?
I would just like to compliment Christy on how thorough she was in terms of getting all of the safety references from all of the various jurisdictions. So I thought it was an impressive document. Thank you.
Good. Anything further? We don't need an official motion on that, Christy. You can just carry on to proceed. Any new business? Hearing none, we will bypass the closed session because I don't think there's anything to discuss, and we'll be having our planning meeting. So hearing nothing further, we'll have a motion to adjourn. I think that's the fastest meeting we've ever had yet. Moved by Cal. Second by Jenny. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. We'll give you a little bit of a break. We can turn off our microphones, et cetera.